I wanted to cover something simple, something I really haven't done a good video on, and I wanted to keep it relatively short because it actually is very, very simple. And that is basic flash photography at events. Simple events, not necessarily getting really complex, but just basic flash photography for the everyday event. Now you might have just did a big gulp and been like, flash photography is complex. And the thing is, flash photography seems complex. There is a lot going on with flash photography that makes it seem complex, but realistically, it's very, very simple. So in this video, I'm just gonna bring it back to basics and make it so simple that anyone will understand and anyone can go from this video to taking great photos at events. My name's Will, welcome back to the channel. It's always great to see you. Wait. First off, Happy New Year. This is incredible. This is my first video of the year, so Happy New Year to you, Happy New Year to me. I hope you have planned and goaled out an incredible 2025 because this is gonna be an awesome year. Also, this is my 300th video. Woo, high five. Let's go, love it. Okay, now we've done that part. Let's get back into the video. The other day I got this comment right here, and it made me realize that I've done tons of videos on flashes, but I've never done a super basic video on just event flash photography. The first thing you really need to know is there's only two modes that you need to work with. The first mode is manual, which you will see here, it says M. The other mode is ETTL. Now this is essentially automatic. This is auto. This says the flash is going to use this little sensor here. It's going to evaluate the scene and it's going to pick the power to use. ETTL stands for evaluative through the lens. If you see just TTL, it's through the lens. Basically, it's the flash determining how much power to use. Now, between me and you, I use manual. I use manual flash, and that's all I use because it is the most controllable, and I found I can make adjustments a lot faster doing that than I can doing ETTL. So I just use manual. Now to get started with your flash, there's a couple of things that you wanna make sure that your flash can do. You'll notice with this one here, it's straight up. I use it in this position most of the time, but sometimes, here, let's put it on the camera here so you can really see what I'm doing here. Sometimes I like to use it where it's tilted back and to the left. Now this is, you can see, back and to the left. This helps eliminate glare. Let's say I'm shooting people with glasses or there's a reflective surface behind. Well, if I'm using a white card, which is just a white card, this shoots light up and bounces off this card and directs it at the subjects. But if there's some reflective surfaces, this will create a flash behind them or on their glasses. So I've found that if I take that off, tilt this back into the left or right, depending on where your bounce is. Let's say there's a white wall on your right or a white wall on your left is where you would dependent on which way you're going to go. But this has helped eliminate that reflection in the glasses or the mirror behind because it's not catching in that, because it's directed away rather than a big white spot that flashes and it's recorded in the window behind them. Now for camera settings, let's say you're in an event hall and this event hall is lit. It's not like party dancing and stuff like that. It's just like a custom event. People are meet and greet, there's lights, stuff like that. What I will start with is I won't connect the flash at first. I will start by turning the camera on, setting, generally this is where I start, the shutter to 1/250th of a second, f2.8 or whatever my lowest f-stop I can go is for my lens, and an ISO of 400 to 800. Usually I'll start with 800 and this is where I'll start. Then I'll see what it looks like and then I'll add flash. Now when I do the flash, I start with, like I said, just straight up with a white card on this. I never really do direct flash like this unless I'm doing like in weddings, the light drag, shutter drag technique. But generally when I'm doing events, I'm shooting like this or like this. So that's what I add the flash to and set the power. Now for the power of the flash, I, again, do manual and I'll set it to about 1/32nd, 1/16th, 1/4, around there. Let's just start with 1/4. And I judge my flash based on about 6 to 10 feet away from people. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, I'll get all those settings dialed in. I'll find someone and I'll take a picture of them that they're 6 to 10 feet away. Now, if they are well exposed, I know that anywhere from about 6 to 10 feet, that's good settings. Now, let's say I get close to someone and I'm like, okay, this distance, which is about 2 feet, and I take a picture, I'm just taking a picture of a close-up of 2 people or something like that. I know that that's gonna be super bright because it's too much light. So what I can do is I can simply make an adjustment by lowering the ISO from 800 to 400 and then raising it back up. I don't have to adjust the flash power at all. I simply just lower the ISO, raise the ISO. Or if you don't want to mess with the ISO, raise the f-stop, lower the f-stop. So let's say, again, that same scenario, you're taking a picture 2 feet away and it's really bright on their face, raise the f-stop a couple of stops to like 5.6, something like that. And then as soon as you're done, lower it back down. This is much faster than going, click, 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 oh, you're too close, let me adjust the flash power, bang, bang, bang. No, you can simply go, okay, click, oh, too fat, too bright, lower the f-stop, click again. It's so much faster. And this is one thing that this technique, it does take a little bit of practice, but that's the simplicity of it. I don't want to really go too much on this video because I don't really need to. We're just talking basics of event photography. With that setup right there, you're good. Like, I know that sounds so easy, but that's all there is to it. That is the simplicity of it. Every flash is different. Every brand camera flash is going to be slightly different. So yours might work slightly different. But essentially, those camera settings with that starting flash power is adjustable enough to where you can then adjust as needed. Another thing to think with is your ISO settings, your camera settings. Now, have you ever seen those pictures where it's really, really dark and the subject is very, very bright? Club photos, things like that, where everything's very dark and behind, even though there's light, ambient light, but the subject is just super bright. Well, that's because the settings were not really exposed for the actual venue or location. They were exposed for the flash. So here's how you can handle this is, like I said at the beginning, get your settings dialed in for the scene. Now, you can do it a little bit darker because your flash is going to be really strong. So you can make it a little bit darker, but still using your ISO will help pick up that background light, those nice ambient light, if you will. And then you adjust your flash to be a little bit less powerful, which you can sometimes get away with 1/16, 1/32. Sometimes I'm using 1/128 flash power, but I'm getting beautiful images exposed with the background and all of that. So again, play with the settings. Don't rush, because it's not like you can take your time to learn and adjust as needed, but just have fun with it. Play around with the settings. Start with what I said, those basics. I'll put them up here again, but that should get you started to be able to take really, really great event photos. Anyways, I hope this helps. I know it's very simple, very basic video. I hope it wasn't too boring, but don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have any questions, you know where the comment section is. Happy New Year, and I'll see you next week.